Same compliment, two different men, and it never lands the same way. Out of a young guy's mouth, it can feel hollow, a line she's heard 100 times. Out of yours, a man who's actually lived, it can reach a woman somewhere she won't forget, if you know which ones to pick. So here's what I want to hand you. 5 compliments that just hit harder coming from a man your age. 5 things your years, your calm, everything you've been through quietly turn into something rare when they'd be background noise coming from anyone else. But first, get why your age changes the whole game. When a young guy compliments a woman, she half assumes there's an angle, that he wants something. When you say the same words from a calm place, wanting nothing, it lands differently. It carries weight. It sounds like a man who's met a lot of people and knows what he's talking about. That's the thing that's about to make these 5 so powerful. Let's start with the first. And honestly, it's the most underrated of the bunch. Compliment her mind, not her looks. Try something like, I love the way you think. Sit with that for a second. A woman, especially past a certain age, has heard 1,000 remarks about her face over the years. Her eyes, her smile, her figure. It all just slides off by now. Means nothing. But a man who notices how she reasons, how she sees things, the way her mind actually works, he touches a nerve almost nobody ever reaches. A woman forgets the man who complimented her face fast. She remembers for a long time the one who was struck by her mind. And your age makes this one land because it's believable. A young guy says he loves the way she thinks, and she half wonders if he's just reaching for something clever to stand out. You say it with the calm of a man who's known plenty of people in his life. And she feels it comes from a real comparison, a real judgment. Your take has weight precisely because the years earned it. There's a deeper reason this one hits so hard with women your age. Her whole life, the world taught her that her value ran mostly through her looks. And as the years pile up, she feels that value being quietly taken away from her, like she's being told she counts for less. When you compliment her mind, you hand her the opposite. Proof that there's a part of her that doesn't fade, that only deepens with time. You're giving back the very thing the world keeps trying to take. She doesn't forget that. There's one more thing about complimenting her mind that men rarely consider. Her mind is what you'd actually be spending your evenings with year after year. So a compliment aimed there lands as something closer to a promise than a line. A woman feels the difference between a man drawn to what she looks like tonight and a man drawn to who she'll still be in 10 years. The second one's trickier and it goes deep. Compliment a quality she doesn't show easily. Something like, I can see how strong you are, even when you're trying not to show it. Now you're not complimenting anything on the surface. You're showing her you looked past it, that you caught the thing she keeps tucked away. And nothing gets to a woman like being seen exactly where she thought she was invisible. Think about what that sets off. A woman often spends her life holding it together for everyone else, carrying things quietly, hiding her tiredness and her fears. And then some man calmly names that hidden strength she thought nobody could see. In that moment, she doesn't just feel complimented. She feels understood. And being understood by a man is so rare, it builds a bond almost on the spot. And take a second to notice something about yourself here. The fact that you're watching this, trying to understand what actually reaches a woman instead of firing off the same empty lines everyone else does, already sets you apart. Most men will compliment a woman's looks their whole lives and never once figure out why it doesn't work. You're learning the real language. Hold on to that. It's worth a fortune. Let's get into the deeper ones. The compliments that stay with her long after the conversation's over. The third is the compliment of presence. Say something like, I feel good, settled when you're around. Not many men can put that into words because it means admitting the effect she has on you without turning it into flattery. And that's exactly where its power lives. Instead of telling her she's pretty or smart, you're telling her she changes the air in a room, that she has a real physical effect on how you feel inside. A woman secretly longs to know she matters. Not for what she does or how she looks, but simply for the presence she brings into a room. And your age gives this one a depth a younger man can't reach. A young guy saying it can come off rushed, like he's skipping steps. A man who's lived, who's known plenty of presences in his time, and just says that around her he feels settled, offers something rare. The quiet recognition of a man who knows the difference between ordinary company and company that actually matters. Careful with this one, though. Don't let it slide into dependence. There's a world of difference between telling a woman she settles you, which is a gift, and telling her you can't live without her, which is a weight she never asked to carry. A mature man can say the effect she has on him and still clearly be a whole man who'd be fine on his own. That combination, warmth without need, is what makes the compliment magnetic instead of suffocating. The fourth one reaches into her history, her whole road. Say sincerely, "I really admire the path you walked to get where you are." This is a compliment only two adults who've lived can really trade. Rather than complimenting a single moment, you're honoring a whole life with all its trials, its efforts, its quiet battles. And a woman your age often feels like that whole road went completely unseen. Picture what that does. A woman who's been through divorces, raised kids, survived losses, rebuilt her life more than once. Here's a man actually acknowledge that road instead of skating over it. She feels you're not just seeing today's woman, but every woman she had to be to get here. A young guy simply can't give that compliment with the same depth because he hasn't walked far enough himself to know what it cost her. The fifth one is the most powerful and the rarest. Compliment the effect she has on other people, not just on you. Something like, "You've got this way of putting people at ease. I noticed it." This one's lethal, in a good way, because it shows two things at once. That you're paying close attention beyond just the two of you, and that you value something generous in her. Something turned toward others, which lifts her far higher than any compliment about yourself ever could. Think about the subtlety there. Most compliments circle around what you do to me. This one circles around who you are out in the world. It tells a woman she has a value that shines past you, which, funny enough, makes her even more precious in your eyes. And coming from a mature man, someone who's watched a lot of people go by and can spot a good soul, that observation carries a weight few compliments ever reach. Now, one crucial thing or you'll wreck the whole thing. These 5 aren't magic phrases to recite on cue. Fire them off like lines you memorized without actually meaning them, and they'll ring false and she'll feel it instantly. The one rule is sincerity. Only say one of these if you actually mean it. If you've genuinely noticed that quality in her. One true compliment at the right moment is worth infinitely more than all 5 rattled off in a row. And here's a small thing that makes these land even harder from a man your age. You've had time to become a hard person to impress. You've met a lot of people, seen a lot of charm, watched plenty of it turn out to be nothing. So when you tell a woman she's got a sharp mind or real strength or a gift for putting people at ease, she senses this is no easy praise, but the verdict of a man who doesn't hand these things out lightly. That's why your compliments carry a weight a younger man simply can't. Scarcity gives them their value. And notice the thread tying them all together. Not a single one of these is about her looks. Every one is about who she is, what she carries, the effect she has. That's the real secret. At your age, you've got the luxury and the wisdom to see a woman whole, past her appearance, and to say it in a way younger men almost never manage. So before I let you go, here's the shift I want you to make. Next time you're across from a woman who gets to you, skip the reflex to compliment what everyone can see. Go looking instead for the thing nobody else bothers to notice in her. Name it simply, quietly, and watch what happens in her eyes. A man who compliments a woman's face joins the long line of everybody else. A man who can name what she truly is becomes, in one sentence, the one she won't forget.